these swings, okay? So as I said, set-up-wise was decent, okay? The issue for me was the takeaway as that club went back. It was not really a turn as such. It was more of a bit of a fake turn. The club was kind of dragging you behind you, which caused a bit more sway, obviously, which is going to cause that thin shot. And at this point now, the club is kind of behind you, a bit fanned open, a bit flat. And because you've swayed, all those things now are going to encourage you to probably bottom out a bit early and thin it. Unless you do something on the way down, which obviously you're getting good at doing. Low arm there with the left arm, and then we sort of tip that right. You can almost see that sort of right shoulder kind of coming in a little bit this way.
Yeah, see that.
Which redirects the club back into a reasonable-ish position.
Yeah.
But you've got to try and find where that position is. And obviously from shot to shot to shot, it's going to be different each time. The length, the club's going to vary, the lie, the land, all these different things.
You're increasing your margin of error.
I mean, it's going to be, you're not going to be anywhere near as consistent as you want to be. As we saw, 6 out of 7 shots were really good, one in the water.
Yeah.
So, no really good there. Okay, so the sensation now is the body is turns, the chest now is turning back towards the camera, and the feeling is that you're pushing the arms and hands out that way. If you didn't move your torso at all, the arm just did their movement, they would go out this way, yeah? They just basically push forward, and then the body would obviously not going to do that in two separate motions, but the pushing away of the arms, at least here now the club is kind of in shot, whereas on the old one, it's got a bit behind you, the left arm. I mean, you were probably kind of here with the club just outside the screen over this way, okay? So the club is moving a little bit more into this direction. In an ideal world, we'd want it basically between the shorts there. So you can practice that at home with, as I say, a wall behind your backside and just make swings not hitting the wall. Now, you've got to be careful when you do that. We don't want to push the arms down and don't turn at all. We still want to turn, but to keep the club in front of us, when we turn our body, the arms are going to have some sort of like pushing out and away sort of sensation to keep the club online. So when the club gets to the top of the backswing, the arms are a bit higher. There's no need now for you to dump the club back over the top because the club is not stuck behind you effectively. Yeah,
the arms can.
Well, yeah, exactly. The arm looks a bit wider and a bit longer. And again, if I don't turn my right side, the arms now can't get up there. If I suddenly take my right side and turn out of the way, I can then push my arms and create a bit more width. So you're able to create
the hips as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. So this right side, this hip, this shoulder has to move. And when that happens, we can then feel that sort of pushing sensation out with the arms, get the club higher, get the club more in front of you. So when you come back down, there's no need to dump it. Because you're used to sort of throwing the club over the top, the club now comes a bit out of the line, and we had a couple of pulley ones to the left. But you're naturally sort of hitting a little fade back to the golf ball, so you're kind of used to that to some extent. I don't mind fade or draw to some extent, really. What I want to do is exactly, and have a fade can still be hit from the club, kind of working back from the correct path, shallowing out the golf club, not getting the club stuck behind you and you dumping it over the top to find where the ball is. I mean, when you're playing well and you're timing it, you'd be great. What we've got to try and improve is the games of golf when you're not quite timing it. So you miss it, still go straight. They're reasonably good strikes, okay? They're just not as good as you want it to be. They're not sort of like duff hooks left in the trees or big fat ones sort of 20 yards short. Okay, so work on that takeaway, get that sensation. We're turning better and we're pushing the club out of the way. We're not letting that club get sort of stuck too far behind. I mean, if you look at sort of positions there and then position. There you are there. It's probably moved in. The next frame. There you go. It's probably moved in, I don't know, a couple inches. But that's, to me, enough in some ways. If you suddenly went from here, you've gone from there, okay, to about there. If you went to there, I mean, think how big a change it feels already at the moment now, and you're moving it that far. To move it triple that, you missed the ball, Peter. So it's too much. So we've got to get used to this new position here now, and then move it to there. Get used to that, and then move it to there. And again, the movement as you come nearer to where you want to get to is going to feel even more so. It's going to be harder to move that last bit. I'm trying to lose weight, If you're 30 stone, losing a stone is quite easy, Lose 2 stone, not so bad. As you get down to that sort of weight you want to get to, that last stone's always going to be a bit harder. So a bit of practice with that against the wall, get the feeling of where your arms are.
Gotcha.
In relation. Okay, mate.
Perfect.
Good stuff.